Oh hey, welcome back to the channel. What do I have in here? Well, look at this. You can probably guess what it is, right? Is this the most powerful foldable e-bike on the market? Don't know. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna unbox this today, we're gonna put it together, and we're gonna take it for a test ride and find out. So stay tuned. So before we get into this box here and find out what's from Hynox in a foldable bike, a little backstory. Now for us, Debbie and I are ready to get back into the RV lifestyle. We've been in it for many, many years, and unfortunately, a giant 70-foot tree fell on our Class A RV during Hurricane Beryl, and that was the end of that. So we've been out for a little while, but we're getting back into it. First thing we do is got a toad. I'll put a picture right here. So we have our toad ready. We kind of do this kind of backwards. And then the e-bikes is something else we wanted. Now, what happens, you go to some of these shows, for example, get to try some other brands, ride them around. We've also been to some campgrounds and ridden our friends' e-bikes, different manufacturers. You know what? The versatility, the way you can use these, the carrying capability, in other words, even you'll get a couple bags of ice, just get around mobility-wise, they are a perfect fit for the RV community and also for our lifestyle. So we started to search for an e-bike. Now, of course, once you start your search for an e-bike, as soon as you search for something on your phone, right, in your social media feeds, guess what? You start getting all types of ads for different e-bike companies. Now, we looked at all of them, but we found out through riding some of our friends' bikes that Debbie, we'll say she's a little height challenge, right? She's only 5'1". Well, she says 5'2" on good days. So we're looking for an e-bike that she can actually ride and put her feet down without falling over. So we're looking for a foldable e-bike that would have the power we need, but also could fit her size. And when we came across this one, Hynox, we found out the sizes go from 5'1" to 6'5", that fit right into our criteria, what we're looking for. It's also foldable and offers some other features, which we'll talk about in a minute. So Hynox thing popped up on our Instagram feed, and they were running a contest. So we entered the contest and said, ooh, it'd be nice to win an e-bike. Of course, we enter all the contests, right? Hope we win something. And guess what? We didn't win. But Hynox actually took a look at our channel, took a look at our content and our story and said, hey, we'll offer you a discount if you like to buy a bike, myself, a pretty good discount, and just tell us your thoughts on it. No strings attached, no affiliate deals, no nothing, just to give us a try and see what we think about these bikes. And we're like, sounds like a plan. So what they offered was the Flex. Now the Flex is their lightweight floatable e-bike design. Now we looked at it, and the first thing we noticed is they have two others. They have a Trooper and a Trooper X. And this is a Trooper X. So why did we pick Trooper X? Well, the Flex would have fit. It's lightweight, 66 pounds, it fit the weight criteria, did everything we needed, had a 750 watt motor. But the challenge was that the options that are on the Trooper X caught our attention. So we're willing to pay the extra money. So that's what's in this box right here. Let's stop waiting. Let's get in here and take a look. Okay, let's get this thing opened up. This bad boy. You see what's inside here. You can actually see it. Yeah, you can actually see. How about that? It's kind of exciting opening something up for the first time. Now, right on top here, I don't know if you can see this. Let me turn this around this way. I can tilt it over. Please scan this QR code to the left for access to user manual and assembly instructions and video. Should I do that? I probably should take a look at the instruction manual. I'm just saying. Stay tuned. Now, taking this apart, as a typical e-bike, as you know, they come almost fully assembled. We just got to put certain things together. So in this box, we have the e-bike itself, the saddle. We did order the optional phone cradle, which is somewhere in here. We'll need to find it. If I get some of the stuff out of here, it might be easier if I take the front of this off so we can see inside. Let's do that. Take a look at this thing. So let's get this box out of here. Probably some accessories. We'll look at that in a second. Get the styrofoam out. Styrofoam. And as I said, it is already mostly together. Now, something else that caught our attention is we like the fat bike tires. We had a chance to ride some of our friends' skinny tires and also ride the fat tire bikes. And going through sand in Florida, going through areas kind of off trail around the campground, the fat tire gives you some advantages. Now, some disadvantages, of course, too. A little more rolling resistance if you just want to pedal on your own. But this fits us. This is a 4-inch wide tire. Take a look at this right here. 20-inch front wheel. Let's put this aside. Now, Now, presentation is everything. When they ship an e-bike to you, it's how they're put together, what kind of care they put into putting this in the box when it arrives, because, I hate to say it, story people drop these things, thing happens. There is a lot of wrapping, styrofoam put together here, very strong cable ties holding things together. Let's get some of this off here and take a look. But they did a really good job of wrapping this and crating this for delivery. And there goes a deer running through the yard right there. Squirrel! Speaking of power, right? 1600 watts. I said it's rated 750, but 1600 peak watt power, 100 Newton meters of torque. Nice stuff. If you want to get those hills, climbing up in the northeast or out west, you want to get up the hills, this is bad boy right here is going to have the power to get you up the hills. Now the range on this is 65 miles. Of course, that depending on the terrain you're in, conditions, temperature, like this, but 65 miles is good, right? Of course, they'll degrade over time. But that's another thing we want to be able to go to the store, go to a restaurant, etc., and have power to come back. Of course, it depends how much you want to pedal, do a pedal assist, or just use the throttle will determine your total mileage or your range you have. Again, this is also rated as a class 3, so up to 28 miles per hour in the highest setting, and it'll carry 400 pounds. So if you're looking for weight capacity, this bike can handle that also. Now, all this is going to depend, of course, on your riding situation, your ability. Is this too much bike? Put a comment below. Is this too much for you? I think it's perfect for us, but keep in mind, we have not ridden this yet. That's still to come, so stay tuned. So again, this bike fit our needs, right? So carrying capacity, we can carry things back here, different attachments. Hynox has their own attachments coming out in a couple weeks, so I'd like to see what they have. We put on here. They're going to have their own baskets, etc. So we'll take a look at that. But the power we want, the torque we want, the range we want, the comfort, all in the one bike that's foldable and durable. This is designed to last. Myself, I believe it has a 2-year warranty, so that's also important. So for those of us in the RV community, this bike was perfect for us. It's foldable, it's easy to fold, compact, durable, range, power, it's all there. What do you think? And just to make sure I didn't miss anything here, the user manual has a QR code. This was attached right here to the handlebar. You can join the Facebook group. They have their own Facebook group, and there's an app, right? You can monitor your performance, your location in the Hynox app. We still need to download that. If I get a chance, in another video, I'll put a video of what it looks like, the screenshot, and how you can use the app for this bike. Make sure I covered everything here. It's rated for 750 watts of power, peak 1600 watts in this engine, 720 watt hour battery, 65 mile range, 100 Newton meters of maximum torque, 20 mile per hour speed. Have 80 millimeter hydraulic suspension in the front, hydraulic disc brakes, 130 lux high beam, low beam light. So we have a high beam, low beam light, 35 millimeter air shock, torque sensor. And again, it said 400 pound load. It also does have the Altus Shimano railer back here. So you're talking quality with a quality chain. That's what we look for in an e-bike. And Hynox has it. Look at the sweat. Yes, I'm sweating. It's hot here in Texas, but a couple of things I want to cover before we get to the demo of the bike. To make your life easier, make sure you have your torque wrenches. They give you all the instructions of what torque values for each bolt are, and actually some are actually printed, like for the headstock, they're printed right on the handlebars so you can know what they are. Now they are Newton meters, so I know even these old Craftsman I have from 40 years ago do have Newton meters on there. And a 10 millimeter socket will make this fender installation go a lot faster too, instead of using the tools they give. But if you don't have them, every tool you need to put this together is in the toolkit, which I think is cool. So this bike is basically done. There's a few little things you need to do, like for example, in the video when you get ready to demo it, peel the plastic off. Do you like to pull the plastic off? I know, I think that's cool. Pull the plastic off the display, go through some of the functions, make sure that the air shock is set into ride mode. There's a lock and ride, same thing, your front suspension, you can lock it out or you can make it travel and make sure everything's all set up to go, but we need to charge the battery. But this is Debbie's bike. I think you'll get mine out of the box. Isn't this thing beautiful? Take a look at this Hynox Trooper X. Of course, first of all, we got to do something about this. This is always, oh yes, that's always so satisfying. So if you have full display here, turn the power on. There we go. So you have your typical speedometer. You can scroll through here, look at the different menus, your trip, your maximum speed, the average speed, how many volts you have, 49.4 right now at 61% battery power. Need to put this on the charger. And you have some of the features here. This is your throttle control right here. You have turn signals and headlights, high beam, low beam right here. Of course, you have your shifter right here. Coming back here, so the first thing you notice, this thing is designed for all-terrain mastery. Take a look at these tires. These are 20-inch, 20-inch tall, 4-inch wide tires. They'll let you go off in the grass over there, go down dirt roads, and even sand without sinking in. Now, you will have some resistance if your battery dies, you're just going to be pedaling, but that's a trade-off I'm willing to have. Of course, braking power. Let's see if I can get my shadow out of this. You have Logan hydraulic disc brakes right here. They are a dual caliper, 180 millimeter, 2.3 millimeter rotors with extra thick calipers and rotors on here for great stopping power. This thing will stop on a dime. That's something you really want in a bike, because once you get up to speed, you want to be able to stop this thing. And of course, right here, you see this is a DNMO AO38RC air shock. This is a pro-grade control. You can control the pressure in there, you can lock it in, or have it in travel mode. This stuff, it is horse link structure, 80 millimeters of rear wheel travel. Three-way adjustable, lets you fine-tune rebound dampeners. There's a twist knob, you can see right there, the red twist. You can adjust your rebound dampening. You can use lockout, which is the blue lever. Pretty cool, huh? Coming up front here, you do have a 130 lux headlight with high beam, low beam. This is perfect for nighttime riding. You want to light up the trail in front of you, but not blind the person coming down from the opposite direction. Of course, you also have lockout and open dampening on your front suspension. This is now open. Well, actually, that's lock. This is open. It gives you full travel for suspension in the front, or if you want to lock it, do little jumps or whatever you want to, you can change the variable dampening on your front suspension. Again, this bad boy back here is 750 watt motor, peak at 1600 watts, 100 newton meters of torque with a 48 volt battery located right there. Out for our first ride on the Hynox Trooper X bike. I can tell you, Debbie and I have been really impressed. Actually, it's the second ride, to tell you the truth, we rode last night. And the comfort, the ride, especially with the dual suspension, front and rear, power, exactly what we're looking for. And in fact, we can fold this, put it in the RV with us, checked all the things we're looking for. Thank you, Hynox, for putting together a great bike.